stuffy that Sunday evening, despite the expensive climate control system. I adjusted my worn MIT hoodie, ignoring Mom's disapproving glance at my casual attire. "Sarah," Mom began, precisely cutting her roasted duck, "I've arranged an interview for you at Anderson Industries on Tuesday. Junior marketing position. It's time you got a real job." I sipped my water, hiding a smile. "I already have a job, Mom." "Playing with computers in your apartment isn't a job," she sighed, exchanging knowing looks with Dad. "You graduated top of your class from MIT. Now you're what? Coding in your pajamas." "I'm running a technology company," I corrected, checking my phone discreetly. The countdown timer blinked. 47 minutes. "Oh, honey," Dad chuckled, adjusting his wire-rimmed glasses. "Those little apps you make aren't a real company. Anderson Industries, that's a real company. Your mother's worked there for 20 years. Now she's CFO." Mom nodded, pearls gleaming in the chandelier light. "Exactly. It's time you understood what real business looks like. Do you know our quarterly earnings? Our market share?" "Actually, I do," I replied, watching another notification pop up on my phone. Everything was right on schedule. "Sarah, this isn't a game," Mom's voice sharpened. "Anderson Industries is the largest tech manufacturer in 3 states. We have contracts with the government. What do you have? A website?" "Something like that," I murmured, noting the time, 6:43 p.m. "The markets would close soon." "I've watched you waste 2 years since graduation," Mom continued. "While your classmates are climbing corporate ladders, you're still... What exactly do you do all day?" "I told you I run Novatech. We specialize in making little phone games," Dad interrupted. "Sarah, be serious. Your mother's offering you a real opportunity here. Anderson Industries is a Fortune 500 company." My phone vibrated. Final confirmation from the board. I set it face down on the table, waiting. "Do you even understand what we do at Anderson?" Mom asked, reaching for her wine. "We're developing cutting-edge technology. Military contracts. Government infrastructure. Things that matter. Using outdated systems and vulnerable software," I said quietly. "Excuse me." Mom's fork clattered against fine china. "Your cybersecurity infrastructure is a decade behind. Your AI development is stagnant. And your quantum computing division is burning money on failed approaches." Dad's face reddened. "Now listen here, young lady. Did you even look into what Novatech does?" I asked, checking the time again. "Or were you too busy dismissing it as playing with computers?" "We've seen enough," Mom snapped. "Those little coding projects of yours." Her phone buzzed. Then Dad's. Then all their devices simultaneously lit up with urgent notifications. Mom's face went pale as she read the alert. Dad's glasses slipped down his nose. "Breaking news. Tech startup Novatech acquires Anderson Industries in surprise $8.2 billion deal. CEO Sarah Anderson, 24, becomes youngest tech giant in history." "That's..." Dad stammered. "That's your company?" "The board meeting ended 10 minutes ago," I confirmed, pulling up the acquisition documents on my phone. "They voted unanimously. Turns out those little coding projects solved the quantum computing problems your teams couldn't crack. The government contracts are being transferred as we speak." Mom's hands shook as she pulled up Anderson Industries' stock ticker. The price was soaring as news of the acquisition spread. But I'm the CFO," she whispered. "How did I not know?" "Because you never bothered to look," I said gently. "Novatech has been buying shares through subsidiaries for months. We own 51% of Anderson Industries." "Well, I do." Dad's glasses clattered to his plate. You own the company?" "As of 6:30 p.m., yes. Don't worry, Mom, you can keep your position. Though we'll need to update those outdated systems you're so proud of." The dining room filled with the sound of incoming calls and messages as the business world exploded with the news. Mom's face cycled through shock, disbelief, and something that might have been respect. "Now," I said, standing up, "if you'll excuse me, I have a company to run. 2 companies, actually." I headed for the door, then turned back. "Oh, and Mom? About that junior marketing position. I don't think I'll be needing it." Behind me, I heard the distinctive sound of a wine glass tipping over, followed by Dad's startled gasp. Sometimes the best revenge isn't served cold. It's served with a side of stock market notifications and shattered assumptions. The night was young and I had an empire to manage. The next morning, Anderson Industries headquarters buzzed with barely contained chaos. The marble lobby, once a symbol of old money corporate power, now displayed breaking news on every screen. Nova Tech Revolution. How a 24-year-old reshaped tech industry overnight. I walked through the revolving doors wearing the same MIT hoodie, but this time, security snapped to attention. "Good morning, Ms. Anderson," they chorused, earpieces buzzing with urgent updates. The elevator ride to the executive floor was interrupted at every level by wide-eyed employees trying to catch a glimpse of the coding kid, who now owned their company. I could hear the whispers. "That's her. The one who built Nova Tech from her apartment." Mom's office door was open when I arrived. She sat behind her imposing desk, looking like she hadn't slept, surrounded by financial reports and acquisition documents. "The board meeting starts in 10 minutes, I said from the doorway. "Ready to see what those little coding projects can do?" She looked up, her perfectly maintained facade showing cracks. "Sarah, I've been reviewing Nova Tech's patents. The quantum algorithms, the AI architecture. You developed all of this." "While playing with computers in my pajamas," I confirmed, stepping inside. "Those government contracts you were so proud of? They're being upgraded with Nova Tech systems that are decades ahead of anything Anderson Industries has produced." Her computer pinged with another stock alert. Anderson Industries' value had doubled overnight on news of the acquisition. Mom's own stock options, which she'd been bragging about at dinner, were now worth millions more, all because of her daughter's hobby. "But why didn't you tell us?" she whispered. "All those Sunday dinners listening to us dismiss your work. Would you have believed me?" I pulled up Nova Tech's project portfolio on her screen. "Sometimes it's easier to build an empire when no one's watching." The boardroom was packed when we arrived. Dad sat in his usual visitor's chair, looking shell-shocked as he watched Anderson Industries' biggest competitors bidding for partnerships with Nova Tech. "Ladies and gentlemen," I began, taking the CEO's position at the head of the table. "Let's discuss the future." The screens lit up with my presentation. Mom's face paled as she saw the scale of what I'd built. Quantum computing centers more advanced than government labs, AI systems that made Anderson's tech look prehistoric, and security protocols that had the military scrambling to upgrade. "Your current systems," I continued, clicking through diagrams, "are obsolete. Nova Tech will implement immediate upgrades across all divisions. Those little phone games Mom mentioned? They were beta tests for neural network algorithms that just revolutionized artificial intelligence." Dad's glasses slipped again as the room filled with gasps. The market projections showed Anderson Industries' value tripling under Nova Tech's innovations. But the marketing position," Mom stammered. "We were going to teach you real business." "About that," I smiled, pulling up another screen. "Anderson's marketing department will be integrated with Nova Tech's AI-driven analytics system. The one I built while you thought I was wasting time coding." The boardroom erupted with questions about implementation, but I held up a hand. "First, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, your new CEO is 24. Yes, I work in hoodies. And yes, I built this company from my apartment while you were all dismissing tech startups as kids playing with computers." Mom's phone buzzed again. Probably another alert about her daughter's growing empire. The stock price kept climbing as markets realized what Nova Tech's acquisition meant for the industry. "Now," I continued, "let's talk about those military contracts. The quantum encryption system they've been requesting? I developed it last year between those Sunday dinners where you told me to get a real job." The military liaison's jaw dropped. They'd been trying to solve that encryption challenge for a decade. "Sarah," Dad finally spoke, his voice unsteady. "We never knew." "No," I agreed, pulling up the final slides. "You never asked. Too busy pushing me toward junior positions to notice I was building something bigger than Anderson Industries could imagine." The presentation ended with Nova Tech's global expansion plans. Mom's CFO expertise would be valuable, once she accepted that her daughter's little coding projects had transformed her corporate world overnight. "The press conference is at noon," I announced, standing. "We'll announce the integration plan and the new quantum computing division." "Oh, and Mom?" I paused at the door. "You might want to update your resume summary." CFO of Novatek's Anderson division, has a nice ring to it. As I left the boardroom, I heard the military liaison whisper, "All this time we were negotiating with the wrong Anderson." The press conference podium felt different from my usual workspace, my apartment's coding station where I'd built an empire. Cameras flashed as I stood in my MIT hoodie, deliberately chosen for this moment. 2 years ago, my parents told me to get a real job. Today I own their company. The audience chuckled. In the front row, Mom and Dad sat quietly, finally seeing their daughter clearly for the first time. Novatek didn't succeed because we played by old rules, I continued. We succeeded because we dared to rewrite them. While Anderson Industries was maintaining the status quo, we were revolutionizing it. Mom's eyes glistened as market alerts kept pinging on her phone, each notification a reminder of how wrong they'd been. To everyone who's been told their dreams aren't real enough, I said, looking directly at my parents, keep coding, keep building, keep proving them wrong. As I stepped down, Dad stood up, finally understanding. We were so busy looking at what you weren't, he said softly, we never saw what you were becoming. No, I smiled, checking the latest quantum computing breakthrough on my phone. You were too busy pushing me toward a real job to notice I was creating the future. The screens behind us displayed Novatek's logo transforming into something new, a merger of old industry and revolutionary vision. Sometimes the biggest corporate takeovers don't happen in boardrooms or through hostile bids. Sometimes they happen in an apartment, written in lines of code by a daughter whose parents thought she needed a real job. As Mom and Dad watched their company transform under their daughter's leadership, I opened my laptop, ready to code the next chapter of our story. After all, empires